Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soulful Abundance with Chris Williams. I'm Chris Williams, and I am here with my friend Holly. And you guys, I'm so excited to introduce you to Holly because she helps coaches, entrepreneurs write books that help monetize their practices. So I know I've got a book, The Soulful Abundance System. It's the way how the podcast came about, Soulful Abundance with Chris Williams. And Holly actually helps people write those, but also not just write them, but use them as a lead generator to attract the right clients. And I just can't wait to hear all the juicy stuff that Holly's going to share with us today. So, Holly,
Yeah, I'm
welcome.
so excited. Thank you so much, Chris. If anybody sees me wiggling over here, it's because my dog has chosen this time to bring me all her toys. So I apologize to
Oh, I
everyone.
think that's awesome.
But yeah, thank you. So I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. So tell us a little bit about you. And, I know I gave the overview, but I would love people to hear from your words, kind of what is it that you do and why'd you get into this work with helping people create books?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I believe in not just any book. I believe in, is it an explicit okay podcast? Can I say the D word?
Yes,
I believe in it.
absolutely.
Perfect. I believe in a damn good book, not a whatever book. And so
Yeah.
this is something I fight against all the time because I see so many courses, programs, whatever, just promoting like write a book and get an Amazon bestseller tag. And that's just like should be the very last thing you're worrying about if you want
Right.
to create a book that brings abundance to your business.
Hmm.
And and because a book is not like creating a lead magnet, it's not a PDF, it's going to take you some time to do it. You
Yep.
should create something that's going to last you for 5 to 10 years as a lead generator. And that's the kind of books I work on.
Oh, love
So
that.
I'm super passionate about that part, about making sure it's a really good book. And I came about it kind of a little wiggly journey, but I actually went to grad school for publishing. Thought I'd work in New York City, like for one of the big five. But as I learned more about the publishing industry, it didn't resonate with me, and I ended up going into a higher education instead.
Mm.
And I did that for a while. I worked for a literature company, a literature ed tech company. I eventually ran Cliff's Notes, so it brought it back from effectively out of print to nearly a
Wow.
million bucks in sales in the first 12 months. And that was so fun. I love that so much. And then after that, I realized I just want to work on books that I believe in and that people believe in. And not to say I didn't
Mhm.
believe in those, but that
Mhm.
I wasn't the final decision maker, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to be working with people who are ready to write books that they believe in, and I want to believe in them too. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I can't wait to kind of hear your thoughts on publishing too. I know you and I had a side conversation a couple weeks ago about, the publishing route once you do read your book or once you do get your book written, but would definitely love to hear kind of for those of you or those of our listeners who don't really understand how a book can help them bring abundance into their business. I would love for you to share how that actually works.
Ooh, okay. So there are five basic ways that most people, 99% of people want to make money with their book. And then there's a bonus one, which I'll talk about after. So the five basic doors of opportunity, I like to say, that people like
Mhm.
to open with a book is they want more high ticket clients, more good clients come to them like, ready to go, half sold. They want more speaking gigs that actually pay them and pay them well. They want to not have more clients. They want to have more hands off digital course sales or membership sales, digital product sales. They want to take a totally different direction and get more strategic partnerships like
Mhm.
big consulting contracts or with nonprofits, or even having your book used as a textbook in a
Mhm.
university course.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love that one. And then there's, of course, thought leadership. People just want to be known as the person in their niche who talks about X, Y, or Z. And so those are the five main ways that books bring in revenue. The sixth
Hmm.
bonus way, and I say this is a bonus because it shouldn't be your first route, is book royalties.
Hmm.
And that's the cherry on top because there's so much more opportunity to bring in revenue with these other five.
Hmm.
And that's how it becomes a long-term asset.
Mm. Let's let you, can we kind of dive into some of those, like, and go
Yeah.
deeper into those top five ways?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have specific questions or you want me to just like go off on a tangent?
Yeah, go off on a tangent.
Okay. 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 So I can give you some
Or if
stats
you want to
here.
start from one, if you want, like
Yeah.
I know you shared five, let's just kind of start from one and then, we can
Yeah.
ask some more specific questions as we go, just so that people can understand a little bit more about like, okay, that sounds great, but how does that actually convert into, business? Like I think you said high ticket clients was the
Yep.
first thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so I'll
So
I'll start and then you can add is,
of
at least
course.
high ticket clients with your book kind of the way that I see it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is it actually preps them. Like they actually feel like they know you when they're reading your book. And so it's kind of creating that know like trust factor before you even hop on a call with somebody.
Yeah. There's a
That's
reason for that.
ooh, yay, good, good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much science behind this. I'm definitely a science girly, and the framework I use with my clients to write books is heavily evidence based because of this very reason. Did you know that only 18% of nonfiction books actually get finished by the reader? Like, of all
I
the
had
books that,
no idea.
of all the nonfiction books that somebody picks up and reads, only 18% of those will be actually finished by the reader.
Wow.
So
Wow. Wow.
who wants to be in that 82%? Not
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Because if
and
they
so
don't
that's
finish it, they're not feeling like they're going to get value. They're not going to want to take the
right.
next step to connect with you or, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the reason that this can build that know, like, and trust with a client when you do it right is
Hmm.
that you are creating time with them. It acts like a conversation in a way that social media, email doesn't. And
Hmm.
it gives them hours with you. So a book is like 5, 8, sometimes 12 hours to read, depending on how long it is and how fast of a reader they are. That's dedicated time with you that they have where they're not looking at their phone, they're not on their laptop, they are relaxing and their
Hmm.
mind is open and they want to, my dog's at me again. They
Oh,
want to they
so
want
sweet.
to spend this time with you and they want you to convince them. They're open to
Hmm.
being convinced right now as long
Hmm.
as you don't blow it. And so
Yeah.
you have to write in a way where you make them feel like they can accomplish whatever you are teaching them. And
Hmm.
the problem is that a lot of authors will write the opposite way. So the framework that I created is called the heroine's journey, and
Mm.
it's a contrast to the hero's journey because what happens in the hero's journey. So like Frodo goes off to Mordor, and I don't care what anybody says, he definitely dies at the end all alone, and that's not fun. Nobody wants that. And it's a
You're like, he
journey.
dies.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have all seen the movie or read the book, I'm sure. I know this is not a spoiler this day and age, but they leave it ambiguous. But he definitely dies at the end, and it's just not a journey that anybody wants to take, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we flip that, and we want the reader to feel like the hero or the heroine, and that's because when they're not a spectator to your journey, your case studies, your origin story, all of that, when they don't feel like a spectator, when they feel like they are part of this story too,
Hmm.
then they're more inclined to like you. And
Hmm.
that keeps them reading too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of psychology behind it, a lot of science behind it, and I get super nerdy into it.
Oh, I love it. I'm so there with you. I am so nerdy on the science-based evidence as well. And it's interesting because I never thought of my book as being long form content, but the what you just described is long form content, right? Short
Yeah.
form is like these 2.5-second reels, right? Where when they're spending hours with you, that's the time that it takes to actually move somebody from being a stranger in your world to being a viewer, being a potential client, to being a potential lead. And I think the marketing evidence out there is it takes somewhere between 7 and 11 hours of time with you
Mm-hmm.
before they feel like, okay, I like this person or not. I trust this person and I want to learn more from them. I want to stay in their world and I want to learn more from them. So
Yeah.
I never thought of a book that way before. I always thought like, workshops or trainings or lives as being more long form content. But oh my gosh, this is so long form content.
It so is. And
Yeah.
and unlike even I love YouTube videos. I think they're also really, really phenomenal as far as like building that
Hmm.
relationship with a reader. I don't really like to say no like and trust because I feel like it's just become a buzzword, and it's just
Yeah.
people are not stopping to think like, what does this actually mean?
What is it?
That's a
Yeah,
whole
you
other
know what?
tangent.
Share. Like, what do you mean when, I mean, like you and I, we know what that means, but share, like, if people are like, okay, but what
Yeah.
does that mean?
Okay. Well, there's this one content creator on Instagram right now, and she's really funny, and I really love her videos, and I really really like her, but I don't know her,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if she would like me.
Mm,
And so if she doesn't like me, then how can I trust her? Right?
right.
So because all I see is her 30-second, 60-second Instagram reels, which are really funny and which
Mhm.
I always share with my husband or my girls group. I I like to be engaged with her, but I don't know that I would want to like do anything else with her. Like I don't
Mm,
know if I want to buy anything from her or anything
right.
like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when you can have a conversation with someone and they feel like they're part of the story too,
Yep.
then that changes things. And so
Yeah.
I think people think about know, like, and trust, and they think, I've just got to nurture them. I've got to show them that I'm legit. I've got to, I don't know. I don't even know what it means anymore. That's the
Yeah.
thing, is like
Yeah.
it's just repeated as this word that's kind of lost meaning because you hear it
Right.
so much.
Yeah, yeah. I think, at least for me, when I think about it and the way that I, share with my clients is it really is that it's having all three, right? They have to, visibility is kind of like the know. Oh, I know who you are, right? Liking would be the next step where they watch enough of it where you're like, yeah, that I like that. That was really funny video. But the trust part comes when you're actually engaging with somebody in that game of catch, that back and forth conversation, or in the book, they're feeling like that part of the conversation. I just think that it's a beautiful way that then they can also take another step and download a freebie from your book or watch another video from your book. Or for me, it's join my Facebook group or go through a training that I have, which even creates more connection and engagement because then I can see them and I can call them by name or I can reach out personally to them. And I think that, those are the three things that kind of have to be. It's like the three legs of a stool that kind of have to be there before somebody can say, yeah, I wanna work with you.
Yeah, you're so right. And going back to what you said about it taking 7 to 11 hours, if they're a fast reader, you've got 5 hours out of them already with the book. And then
Mhm.
we do give them multiple opportunities throughout the book to opt in and get that additional contact
Mhm.
with you. And that kind of seals the deal. So I just love books for that reason. I mean, I love to read, but
Oh, I do too. I swear I should have bought stock in Amazon back in the day. I swear. My husband's like, "Oh my God, another book?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm not buying shoes. I'm buying books. Like I I love books."
I
So, yeah,
know.
I was excited to actually be able to put a book out there and not even because I'm, worried about royalties or the book's got to make all this money, but it feels good to have my thought leadership out there that's impacting others. And, it's almost like, I've had people reach out saying, "Oh, I just got your book." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know who you are, but that's so cool." Like,
I love
yay!
that.
I'm so glad that's helping you.
Oh, I love that. How was your process writing your book? Did you enjoy the process?
I took a long time writing my book. I have to say that writing it was great. I loved the person that was actually helping me like write it. I guess I don't know what you call it, my editor, my writing editor, I guess.
Hmm.
I didn't love my publisher. Did not love my
Oh,
publisher. My
yeah.
publisher didn't like it was a painful experience. But yeah, it just for me it took me I think longer than it could have. I mean, it took me like 2 years to write mine. I definitely could have done it quicker had I been in, just focused and saying, okay, like this is how I'm going to go and this is what I'm going to do and kind of put the blinders on, and just get it written. But I think that there's a lot of, and I'm sure you run into this too. I think there's a lot of fear out there with writing a book. Like, oh, well, I didn't do that great in English, or I hated diagramming sentences. I'm totally like aging myself now, right? I'm like, oh my God, what if this doesn't match with like, oh, I'm a terrible writer. So I went into it really feeling like, who am I to write a book? And So I had to kind of, get over that hurdle and say, no, actually, I've got something powerful to say, and I can
Hmm.
totally do this. And I've got somebody there that's, going to help me, get it into a story form and share it in a way that I wanted it to. So I can definitely say that if it was just up to me, I never would have written the book if it was just up to me. I definitely needed somebody by my side that could walk me through it.
I'm glad you got the help you needed because I'm glad you have a book out
Yeah, thank
and
you.
maybe another one, maybe two.
Yes, absolutely. And we've actually got, which is crazy, right? Like, oh, I can't write a book. And now I'm like, oh, but now I want to do this one and I want to do this one. And so yeah, I've got actually two more ideas out there for getting a book together. One is going to be a follow-up to the Soulful Abundance system, which is like a devotional, because I love devotionals. I don't know about you,
Oh
but
yeah, I
I
have a
love being
few.
able to,
Yeah.
yeah, I love just being able to pick up one and either following it by, okay, this is March, whatever, March 12th, or just picking it up to random, something. And so that's in the process right now is 365 days of soulful abundance, which is going to be like a devotional that people can do that. So that's
That
next.
is a, that's a great idea. I love that. You also said at the beginning, so everybody gets this bug after they write one book.
It's really,
Um, yeah, I've got a client right now. She hasn't even, her book launches later this month, and she's already asking me, okay, what do we do? Because I want to write the next two books too. So how do we do this together? And I'm like, you worry about the launch. We will talk about that after. But yeah, everybody always gets the book. So I'm not surprised you got it. But going back to what you said about feeling like you weren't a writer, everybody has that too. So many people. And
yeah.
I mean, I was always like good at English, so I never really had that worry, but I know of that worry from so many other people. And I feel like having worked with so many people who said that they didn't feel like they were a writer and who maybe weren't the best at sentence construction or things like that.
Mhm.
I stand firm in the belief that if you can talk, you can write. And that's
Yeah.
because you can always dictate it and it's going to come out sounding so natural, so like you. And we all speak in understandable English if this is the language you speak in or whatever language you speak in, even if you don't feel like you write it. There's kind of like
Mhm.
this mental block sometimes where you feel like your sentences have to be so pretty and perfect
Yeah.
and grammatically correct, and it's just not the case. People don't
Mm.
want that anymore. Of course,
Yeah.
it should be well edited, but that's totally different than speaking like you're writing an essay.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when you just said writing an essay, I remember sitting in college with midterms with my blue book, and I'm like, oh, this is like
Yes,
the worst. I
I
hated having
know.
to write essays. Oh,
I know.
so
It
yeah,
takes me back to writing my master's thesis, and it's just like, no thanks. It's just
I know,
nobody
right?
wants to read it now. It was great research, and nobody will read it because it's so dry.
Well, that's what my son is doing right now. My middle son, he's actually out in Colorado right now, and he's writing his thesis. And I'm like, so, and it's going to take him like a year. And I'm like, oh God, like holy cow. But I want to get back to you because you
Yeah.
actually help people write their books, and you have a process that you take people through, and it sounds like you help them launch it too. So I would love people to hear, if they're interested in taking whether, any type of thought leadership, and you can share kind of what other people as far as like, creating a damn good book is, a good fit for, going through your process. I would love to hear more about that.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I start with ground up, and my whole concept here is book writing should not feel hard. It should not
Mhm.
be painful. You should not cry unless you're, I guess, writing a vulnerable story, in which case, let your emotions free. But it should not be a painful process and it shouldn't take you your whole life to do. So, the reason that people get stuck is they don't have a good structure and they don't feel like they know what to write. They get
Yeah.
writer's block, they open up a blank page and they think, what goes here? So, we start with a nice outline. And the way that I outline with people is very different. So I call it book mapping, and we take this heroine's journey, the framework, and we map it out into a book. It has 9 little, you could think of them as mile markers along the
Mm.
way. And these 9 little mile markers, purpose points, create the purpose for your book. They're like tent poles holding up the
Mm.
tent. And the key to them is that they map a narrative moment, with a key teaching moment. And the reason they do that, it's going back to all the sciencey stuff, is that for people to learn, understand, remember a concept really well and long term, it needs to be anchored to something emotional that
Mm-hmm.
sticks with them. And
Yeah.
so we need the right kind of emotional anchor with a teaching moment or it gets lost. And we don't want
Mm-hmm.
it to get lost because we want people to keep reading your book, to feel like they
Yeah.
got something out of it, and to eventually convert to something else with you. Um, so we map it out that way with these little mile markers, purpose points, and I it's really easy actually. Like it sounds harder when I explain it than when we actually get in and do it. And
And
so when I
do
work
it.
with
Yeah.
clients, yeah, I actually map it out for them, and we get on a call, and it's done in an hour and a half, and
Wow.
then they know exactly what every chapter
It's going to be
is,
about. Mm-hmm.
not only what it's going to be about, but exactly what they're going to say in it, how it's
Oh,
going to map to some sort of anecdote or case study or client or memory or however we're anchoring it. And then you just open up your book map when you have a moment to write, and you just you have the structure right there. You're basically filling in the blanks, and it makes it so much faster. In fact, what I like to do when I'm working on a book is I'll just go get to the school pickup car line early and wait in that line. I don't know why parents get there at 12 o'clock for some reason. School doesn't get out for until 2:15. And there's
holy cow. They're sitting there for 2 hours. Oh my God.
I don't know, but I'll get there 30 minutes early and I will wait in that line and I will just dictate into my phone. I have the book map open and I just
Mm-hmm.
dictate in the phone. And and then take AI, transcribe it, pop it into a Word doc, and you have a chapter. You can dictate a whole chapter in half an hour.
Wow. That's incredible. That is so much easier than what I did. Oh my God.
I mean, and even if you want to type it, you can still fit this in the margins of your time. And the difference is because you're not if you only have 15 minutes, for
Mm-hmm.
example,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time you open up that document and you're like, okay, let me read back through what I did before. Let me figure out what I'm going to say, and then your 15 minutes is gone,
Right.
and that happens over and over.
Right.
And
Right.
this means you open it up and you know exactly where you are. You have
Oh,
to answer one question and then move on to the next question and move on to the next section. And then once you do it all, you have your chapter done. So it works either way.
oh, that's fantastic. And how do you work with people? Do you work with them privately? Do you work with them in a group? Do they like, how does that whole thing work? Now I'm
Yeah.
asking for me. So for those of you that are like, when she's asking that, I'm like, oh, my next.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so I have two options. So, like, if somebody feels like they're more of a DIY kind of person, I have a course and it takes you through, starting from this messy idea. It helps you get that idea perfected to your book goals all the way to a finished first draft.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes with some support from me, some feedback, a couple of calls. And then that's if you feel like you're more of a DIY person. If you want the
Mm-hmm.
full experience, I'm shifting into becoming a publisher, and I can talk to you more about why
Yes.
later. But so it's a 10-month program, and we take you from that messy idea to published, launched, and marketed. And
Wow.
it includes everything. Um, so we spend the time working on your book. I'm helping you. I'm reviewing every chapter. I'm giving you feedback, and you have your book map that we've set up together, and it goes so much faster. So typically, people will write in about 6 or 8 weeks of writing.
Wow. That's amazing. That's so fast.
Yeah, and even if you take 12 weeks, 16 weeks, like
Mhm.
take your time. We've got
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
then I send it off to one of my trusted editors. They work on that while we start working on the pre-launch, and we build up the pre-launch. We're doing the marketing. We're building the funnels, those reader bonus funnels, getting all that set up so you can have a nice, big,
Mhm.
successful launch. Then we have launch day. It's a
Mhm.
big day. It's celebration. We're excited. And then we finish it off with a launch party event. And that's designed to take all of the people who are excited about your book, who either bought your book or want to buy your book, and convert them to the next step with you.
Mhm. I'm
So,
so glad that you talked about that because I think there's this misconception that once you write it, it's done. And
mm,
it, you know, while I was absolutely great to write it and to have something in my hands and go, yeah, this is great. Now we have to get it in front of people. So I love that you've got like the whole package because that can be like another, crazy mind thing of, okay, now it's written. Now what do I do? How do I launch it? How do I get it in front of people? How do I tell people about it? How do I bring them from the book into, my email system or into my ecosystem or into my world some way? And actually get it published. So
Yeah,
I love that you offer that extra because that's like the whole thing, right? Like writing it is great, but we have to get it out there. If we don't get it out there, then nobody gets to read it.
exactly. Exactly. And once it's out there, it should again work for you for at least 5 years. It should
Yeah.
be bringing you leads for that long. And it should not require you to baby it every single week with ads and
Hmm.
marketing. A little refresh here and there.
Hmm.
Just keep it in your rotation, but it should be working for you. And the beauty of a book is that as it expands, it starts expanding more by itself because people who read it and like it will give that book to their sister or their friend
Yeah.
or their little library even, and
Hmm.
somebody else picks it up and who may not have known about it, but they see it and they're
Hmm.
like, oh, this is interesting. And
Yeah.
even like you can have it in your background on a Zoom call and somebody says, oh, what's that? So it's like, or somebody walks in your house and it's like, oh, what's that? So it's a book that doesn't disappear like a course
Hmm.
might. And of course I'm not downplaying courses. I have one, I love them. But but it's it's just there in your face
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Totally. Yeah. I love it too. Yeah, I love them more than just courses too. But courses absolutely have their place. I love that you give people personal access to, the course too, which I think is hugely important because we all know that we can kind of like download a course and then never do anything with it.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
There's only like 1 to 3% of, you said only 18% of people actually finish their book. There's like, what I think the statistics that, I've learned is 1 to 3% actually finish courses that are
That
like
makes sense.
completely like on your own. You don't have any access to the person, can't get your questions answered. Like, and it's the same thing. If they don't finish your book, why would they want to take the next step with you? So
Right. Yeah,
there's
I think it's a missed opportunity. I fully believe in having me with you with
Mhm,
your book.
mhm.
I don't do group programs because writing a book can feel vulnerable. I don't
Yep.
want anybody to feel like they need to hop on a hot seat or something and beg for my
Yeah.
time. They get
Yeah.
my time dedicated
Yeah.
and I'm not passing them off to another coach that
Hmm.
I may or may not have trained up to my standards. They
Yep.
get me and I believe in that because I want everybody to have the same experience.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Holly. That's so beautiful. I love that. I'm so glad. I mean, our philosophies, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you here is because our philosophy and even just serving our clients match so well. It's
Yeah.
it's not about just, bringing them in and then passing them off to your team. It's no, I actually want to connect with my people. I want them to know that, they've got my heart, my brain, my eyes with them in their business. Just like you, you're like, no, I'm here with you in this book. Like this process, I'm right beside you. We're going to do it. And I think that is so, so important.
Yeah, I love that you work with your people that way and they because I feel like you need to know who your people are
Mhm.
and what's important to them and what their goals are if you want to actually help them.
Yeah, totally.
They get the
Absolutely.
best advice. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to share your quiz. Do you want to share a little bit about your quiz? Because we're going to pop the link. Yeah, for those of you that are watching it, go down below, click the link. If you're on YouTube, definitely go into the description so that you can grab Holly's quiz, but she's going to tell us a little about it. And then if you are on the podcast, definitely click that too, because I want you to be able to take this amazing quiz that Holly's put together.
Okay, thank you. So, this quiz is to help you find your best door of opportunity or strategy stack, as I like to say, because you could stack these opportunities up. So, what is going to be the most abundant path for you and your book? What's going to fit best with your business? And how do you make that happen with a book? With how do
Mhm,
you aim for this door? So,
mhm,
I would love for everybody to take the quiz to find out what their best strategy stack is for their book. When you do, it takes 2 minutes. You'll get my 3 day challenge in your email. If you do those 3 challenges and send it to me, you get free book coaching from me on those answers. So I will
What?
reply and I will give you feedback on your answers. And that's a crowd favorite. So don't
Wow.
don't sleep on that one.
Hmm.
And At the end of it, I'm going to spoil it. At the end of it, if you do the 3 challenges, you will have basically written the introduction for your book. So one
Wow.
chapter done.
Oh my gosh, I'm so taking that quiz. I'm going to be on it. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Next book, here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Thank you for your generosity. Like that's hugely generous to not only, give people a quiz to take to find out what their best window of opportunity is, but also to be able to get feedback directly from
Hmm.
you for free.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't want
Thank
anybody to write a whole book in it to be the wrong book. So
Yeah.
I will save you
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, amazing. Well, Holly, thank you so much for being here. It was just such a pleasure. I cannot wait to connect with you more. And we get to see each other in November, and hopefully sooner because you're just right across the border for me. I'm in North
Yep.
Carolina, Holly's in South Carolina. And so we're excited. We're gonna, meet halfway somewhere so that we can share some coffee or wine or lunch or something. So super
All
excited
three.
for that. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right,
Thank you,
everybody, don't
Chris.
forget, click the link, go say hi to Holly, tell her that you met her through me, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.